Welcome, everyone, to the Holstein House podcast. I'm the West Virginia woman, Robin, of RobinHolstein.com and Holstein House, where my guests get a great night's sleep at a fair rate plus breakfast. This is a podcast that looks at society and culture issues affecting families in West Virginia and the United States, from food preparation and storage, gardening, home repairs, current events, and more. We'll go around the table and back in 60 minutes or less. So let's hang out and talk a while. Good Friday morning. Guess what? I'm actually live. Well, I was live when I recorded the other shows too. But we're actually live today. Nothing going on this morning other than I just can't hold back and wait to tell you. The contractor's here working on the front porch. After months and months and months of nothing. So you could possibly hear some noise in the background. I haven't talked to him specifically. He does have a helper here with him. And when I checked just a minute ago, they were taking out the old handrail posts and getting ready to put in the new ones, because it's all going to be the same material, and currently the handrails that are on the front porch are wooden, so they're taking those out and getting ready to replace those. I suspect I won't be talking directly to the contractor because, well, we'll get into that maybe a little bit later. But hey, look, it's episode 74. 74. Now, granted, I've been doing them twice a week, but heck, that's still, what, 37 weeks? Crazy, isn't it? Well, and of course, if you count the pre-recorded ones, but it still counts because they're all eventually recorded. But yeah, episode 74. I'm closing in on 100. What are we going to do for 100? What kind of a thing are we going to do to celebrate our 100th episode? Think about it and let me know. Today, I want to kind of talk about the doghouse roof. We've talked about that a little bit before, the front porch issue, the ducklings update, and some other things. But, depending on the platform you're listening to me, I would really appreciate it if you would hit the thumbs up or the heart or whatever way you acknowledge that you like the program, so that it helps tickle those algorithms a little bit. And share and subscribe if you have the option to subscribe, so that you know when new episodes are coming, or you can come in and watch live and have a little fun. Sometimes we have fun, sometimes we don't. Hopefully today we'll have some fun. Kind of dragging. It's been a really busy week and I'm just really tired. So, but yeah, do all that boosting, zapping, clipping. I mean, that was all in the intro, but yeah, I do appreciate it. Listen, if you're looking at the YouTube or Rumble, maybe not so much Rumble. Rumble, I still haven't gotten it worked out yet, because I need to do that ahead, and I forget. It's just I forget. I don't have a lot of interaction over there, but I do have quite a few videos up because I download and copy them up. But if you're on an application that allows you to zap with Satoshis, I do appreciate if you would share those in acknowledgement of how much value you've gotten from the program. If you're on YouTube now, I don't have enough followers or subscribers to qualify for any kind of super chats or any of that kind of stuff. So if you would, you can, if you will. Go to one of the other applications. Go to Noster, go to Rumble, go to Fountain.fm, one of those, and express that. So if you would have hit super chat on YouTube, take that to Fountain FM or to one of the other applications and share that, because it'll be a while. I mean, it'll be a while. I just don't apply to so many people, and it's just what I talk about, just not everybody wants to talk about. I get it, but so you can't do that with YouTube right now. But I do appreciate it if you would consider that. So be sure to follow us on all the major socials, Facebook and YouTube, and Noster and Clapper and TikTok. I'm still on Clapper. I'm getting a lot more I mean, it's probably junk accounts, but I've got a lot more followers over there on Clapper, and they seem to like the duck. I'll tell you the one they really liked was when Bob the dog chased the groundhog and rolled it a couple times. That thing has got like 10,000 views. It's crazy. As far as I know, he didn't hurt it. I've seen what I think is the same groundhog again, so but not in the same place. Not in the same place. So I guess the little fella figured it out. Also on Freesteading MeWe, Instagram, Twitter, and all those others. So you can find me at all those places. I mostly interact with YouTube because it notifies me, and Noster and Telegram. Holstein House has a Telegram group. If you use Telegram, go to t.me/Holstein House, and we'll chat over there a little bit. I've got a couple comments over there now from this morning. But for the most part, around here, things haven't changed a whole lot. I did contract with a roofing company to do the little doghouse. And that should start, depending on the weather, obviously, that should start the 5th of July. So I hope the guys aren't hungover when they start. But that should start on the 5th of July. And hopefully, I mean, they're local guys too, but they're not the same one that's working on the porch. But that should start, and I will be so tickled. I'm really, really anxious in the good way to get that taken care of. I just really that will be a big weight off of me, not just because it was a big project, but because of the potential of things that we can do once that building is re-roofed. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I have great ideas for it. May or may not take off. You know, we get good ideas and plans and things, and you find out they don't work that well, or you know, the market's not there. And I have an idea for it. I really do, and I hope we can get that done. But it's going to take a lot of work between now and then. It's going to take a lot of cash between now and then as well. So we'll get that done, and then I'll be able to move forward on other things. And I keep thinking I can't hook it up. I can't hook it up, but I could run wire. I could run electric wire. I could do that. I don't know what the condition of the wire is. The electric wires are in the house. With the roof bad where it is in those places where it's really bad, I figure there'll be like light fixtures and stuff that'll be bad. They will have to be replaced. But there's no electric on over there now. They pulled the meter a long time ago, which was fine. I mean, you can't use it if you turn it just because there's hole. It's just in bad shape. But we'll get that done, and I'm really kind of anxious in a good way. The porch work. Some of you may know. Some of you may not know. I actually messaged the contractor on Monday and said I want it done properly by 6 p.m. on Friday, which is today, the 23rd of June 2023, or I'm going to small claims court on Monday morning following, and Bob quit it. Bob the dog's over there scratching. He's been in the cat food again. He scratches and carries on when he's allergic to the cat food, to the poultry and the cat food. I had to tell him I was going to go to magistrate's court, and not kidding. I called him yesterday, found out what form I had to get. So I have the form. I have what I need, I think. I'm going to continue filling that form out here this afternoon, getting everything worked up, getting it, right, and prepare to be at magistrate's court on Monday now. If he gets it finished tomorrow, am I going to magistrate's court? No. But I will go if it's not done. I'm tired of playing. And I don't know why it's taking this long, but I'm not messing around with it anymore. So he's out there now working on it with a helper, and we'll see. We'll see what goes on after that. He may try to gouge me money wise, but I know the estimate he gave me, I gave him really right about half of what he estimated. So we'll see. I'm going to finish putting that together as if I'm going. I may not sign. Well, I think I have to sign in front of a notary. Let me look. No, this one doesn't require a notarial acknowledgement, but I won't sign and date it until Monday. We'll see what happens. So right now, as of right now, this minute, we don't have any guests scheduled for the weekend. So that's good as far as the porch is concerned. We won't have anybody worried about banging and stuff and walking across the porch and things. So that'll give me some opportunity after I finish here and get everything uploaded and stuff to get some cleaning and clearing out here done. And, most people, if you're really cluttered, it bothers you. And of course you want to get it cleaned up. Some of us, I can tolerate a lot more clutter than most people, but even I've gotten to the point where I've got to deal with this stuff. It's driving me crazy, and I can't function. I can't find things, and I can't put things together. It's really wearing me out. So, and so we don't have any guests, so I'll be able to do that. And one of my guests a while back, the one that really hit me hard on the review, because she was upset that the check-in time was 6 o'clock, 3 to 6. We talked about that before. One of her complaints was the lock on the bedroom door, the guest bedroom door, and it's a chain lock. It's a little brass chain lock. I get it. A good shoulder against it would knock that door open. But it's an antique door. It's original to the house. I'm not going to go putting a bunch of modern locks and junk on it. But what I could do, and what I did do, was purchase a couple of devices from Amazon that they're one of them's a portable door lock, and you put it in the jamb, and then you close the door, and then you put another piece down on it. Let me see if I can find it here. And then it's also, I mean, you could also get through it. I mean, you really honestly could get through anything if you wanted to. But it helps stop the door from being opened, and it's advertised really for travelers using it in like hotels and stuff. All right, here it is. Let me get a good picture of it. And that's not good. There it goes. It's really slow. I don't know if I can share it that way. Let me see if I can share this. Share screen. Is that it? Yeah, share that. This is what it is. And you put this on the door jamb itself. Then you close the door and you put that little heart-shapey thing into the thing that you put in the door. It's really not as difficult as well, and then it has a little alarm thingy that they sent with it too, but that's not well, this is really the best picture, even though it's not very good. So you put the metal plate in the door jamb there, and then you close the door, and there's a piece that sticks out, and you put that little heart-shaped thing down in the piece that sticks out, and that keeps the door from opening. And I did test it out, and it does work. Now, if you wanted to shove that door real hard, it's still going to come open. I mean, you're going to break the door. But Mr. Holstein, we're not going to be doing this. I mean, I get it. This person doesn't know that. But I also, let me see if I can back up. I don't know how much what you guys are getting to look at. I also got this. Now, this is a brace that goes under the door handle. This piece here goes under the door handle, and this piece here you shove up against the floor. And it jams the door. Let me see if I can find a good one there. I think it's that one. Yeah. So you're darn it. Sorry. For you guys who are listening, I'm showing a picture from the Amazon page on. So you shove it down against the door, and the tension keeps it in place. So I'm thinking this is the one I'm going to. I put the other one in the room with a little instruction sheet, but the fact of the matter is, people do not read. Okay, they don't read the listing. They don't read the information on the page, so they come in, they don't know what's going on. So why? They're probably not going to read that either. So I think I'm going to swap those out. The one that goes in the door frame, it you have to finagle it a little bit. You have to get it, and I just don't see people doing that. And it's not because of the way the device is made, it's because of the shape and the size of that little door jamb. It's not just right. Now I could take a little tiny chisel and just chisel out a couple little spots, and it would fit perfectly well. I may do that. I haven't decided yet. But she's the only one so far that's complained about it, and she was complaining about other stuff anyway. So I'm not overly concerned, because I've been doing this for a long time now, and that's the first person that really griped about it. But I'll get that addressed. It is kind of, I know that I'm not going to go in there on anybody, and I know Mr. Holstein's not going to go in there on anybody. But I also understand that as a traveler, they don't know. When they get here and they see that little brass chain lock, they don't know that we're not going to come in. Get it? I know you get it, but that's what that is. So I'm gonna, and plus I'll put it a little. I don't think I've ever shown you the binder that I did that I have in the room with the information on the area and stuff. But I'll put a page in that, and then I'll share. I think the one that goes under the handle is going to be better, because it's easier to put in place and remove, and I just think that's going to be okay. Give me just. Sorry. I wanted to fuss at the dog. He's over there scratching. I need to give him a bath today too. Oh, so many things that has to be done today. So anyway, so I think the door jamb one is the one I'm going to use. And for those of you on the audio, I'm sorry you couldn't see the picture of it, but you kind of get the idea. It's a long stick that jams up underneath. And anyway, I might do a video showing the difference. I don't know. I probably should. It's just what I should probably do. I haven't put up a good video in a while, but I've got all these ideas for them, and then I just haven't had a chance to do it. I really haven't had a chance to do it. Listen, so let me do a little promo here again on, if you're traveling to or through West Virginia using the West Virginia Turnpike or the Interstate 6477, and you need a spot to stay, consider staying with me here at Holstein House. Go to robinholstein.com and look for Holstein House in the drop down. And direct book. Direct book is best. Direct book will get you the discounts. I've got a promo code for this, and it's podcast 10. And no, it's podcast 5. But I have one going also for the 4th of July, for if you're going to stay over the 4th of July, if you need a spot to stay. It's Indy, as in Independence, INDI, Indy 10, and it'll get you 10% off your stay if you're staying between July 1st and July 6th. It doesn't have to be all 60 days, but it has to be between those dates. You go direct book, and you will see a chance to put in promo code, and put the promo code Indy10, and you'll get 10% off your stay. You can do that now, but after July the 1st, you can't do it. So if you're trying to book after July the 1st, it won't work. So to encourage people to book early and book often. And you'll also see 4 packages, not 4 as in the number 4, but FOR packages. The chocolate and coffee is a special in-room treat of Hall's handcrafted chocolates and a freshly ground cup of coffee from Coal River Coffee Company, roasted here in not too far from here in St. Albans, West Virginia. It's pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. So go to robinholstein.com, choose Holstein House from the menu. Use the link to check the dates that you want to stay, and you'll see an option for chocolate and coffee stay package. Now, you can use Airbnb. We do take Airbnb guests. We have all along, but you don't get these discounts. So you don't get the specials. I did have some a sourdough bowl made with our guests last. I didn't make it for them, but I had it made, and I did serve it to them, and they were really happy. So sometimes you might get sourdough if I've got it made, and sometimes you might get homemade white bread, just plain old bread, because sometimes I just feel like fixing it. Oh, a little update on the garden and the poultry. The ducklings, my little babies, they're 6 weeks old now, and they're not that little. I mean, surprisingly, they're not too far from being adults. If I had to guess, if I was comparing them to children, I would say they were in their mid-teens. They are still, changing their feathers, getting rid of the fur. There's a little bit of that fluffy stuff still left, but they're mostly feathers now. They're still kind of a gray color, so I don't know if there is some bad DNA in there, because the ducks were originally bought at Tractor Supply, not by me, and they were in another location, and then the people didn't have them secured right. A raccoon got in. These 2 survived, and that's how I got them. So there could be some bad DNA in there, but they look like their mama and their daddy, but they're kind of gray colored still. So they haven't gotten the nice brown color of the female, brownish caramel kind of color of the female, and they don't look like the daddy. The daddy kind of looks like a mallard, but they don't really look like him either. But I see no curls of the tail still yet. Even at 6 weeks, I don't see a curl. And I'm pretty sure the last male I had, well, this guy, his tail curled. He wasn't very old when we got him, but the curl in his tail was obvious fairly early. So I think we have 4 girls. Now the hen, the broody hen that I stuck the pekin eggs under, I got rid of those eggs. They had rolled out too many times, and when I checked them, there was no sign of development in them, and I didn't want them blow up underneath her belly, so I chucked those Monday. I got rid of those on Monday. So she's still kind of wanting to be broody. I've been taking her out of the nest a couple times a day and putting her down. We've had some rain, so the grass is damp, so it cools down her little underparts, and hopefully she will settle down and start laying again. They're all of my chickens. It could be a molting thing, but all of the chickens right now are starting to slow down how often they lay. They're also fairly old for laying. They are probably, I'd have to go back and check. I don't keep track of this stuff. They're probably about 3 years old now. Yeah, I think 3 years old now. So they're bound to start slowing up. They're not laying every day like they normally would. The pekin isn't laying every day, but she's still laying a couple times a week. She's the oldest one now. The pekin is the oldest one out of that batch. And of course, the roan, she's just finished hatching. She's not laying every day either. So we'll see. But the ducklings, they're darling. They're traveling in their little pack of 4 everywhere they go. But the daddy duck, he's very mean to them. He runs them back into the coop if he can get them there, but he will run them back in every chance he gets. So I've been trying to separate them with a piece of fence, keeping the older ducks in the front yard and the younger ducks in the back with the chickens and stuff. So it's been very interesting, and I do, and I said this a couple times already, I got to do something about the chicken situation. I might have to get a couple more somewhere. I did ask my husband to check with one of the guys that he works with if he'd be willing to give up a couple hens, and he said no. I don't blame him. They're very expensive. which is crazy. I was talking to our friend John, and I was explaining. I said, they want $5 a hen, and you think, oh, you'll get that back in a couple of dozen of eggs. So you figure about a month, you get your money back on one hen in eggs. Well, but the problem is that you're going to spend 9 months feeding them before those comes out, And granted, the amount of food they're eating is not that much, so it's probably going to take about 3 months worth of eggs for the chicken to start making a profit. They're not going to start laying. If I get them now, they're not going to start laying until cold weather. So um, I'm going to have to hurry up and decide really soon on that. Let me ask you something. I was listening to a replay of Jack Spirko's show from yesterday, which would have been the 22nd of June. And I don't know what the episode number was. I didn't look that part up. But he was talking about fermentation. His whole episode was on lacto fermentation, and I do that. I use that for a lot of vegetables and make Dragon Balls and sauerkraut and stuff. But he talked about fermenting radishes. Now, I'm not a big fan of radish, but you might hear them drilling into the. This might be a difficult episode if you hear that. Um, I'm not a big fan of radish, just a radish, but I've never tried to ferment them. And I was wondering, have you had them fermented in saltwater brine? And if so, what do they taste like? Do they keep the radish flavor or does it change it some? Because I'd love to try it. Now, I could do that. I could buy some radish at the store. It doesn't take long to grow them, but I could buy a bunch of radish at the store and do a little jar because he said, chop them up like a French fry, just little thin strips. I could do that. Might be interesting. Might be interesting. But if you've tried it, I'd love to know what you think about it. I would love to know what you think about it. Da, 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 da. I'm wondering how much of that you can hear because it'll be awfully distracting to you. I can't imagine what is he doing. He has to be drilling holes in to put the base in. But why would you need to drill that much? I don't know. I'm not a contractor. Well, I don't have anything really exciting going on there. My girlfriend Carla was upset on Facebook earlier because her electric was off again, and she was fussing about needing a quality electrical company. And I told her, I said, you need a generator. And I like Carla. Don't get me wrong. This wasn't a mean interaction, but she didn't. She kind of didn't like it, but and I understand that because they are expensive. But Carla has some. I don't want to get into a lot of details about her personal life or anything, but Carla has some health issues, physical issues that would make it difficult for her to try to start a generator in the way you think you start generators. But I was trying to tell her that they've come a long way now and they're not as difficult to start as they used to be. So perhaps she could get one or she could move. I don't have a lot of trouble with our electric going off. We're in a good area, and that's one of the reasons I have not moved from here. As far as infrastructure, we're in a good spot. Our electric is generally always on. We don't have any interruptions in natural gas, which is what we heat with, and our water, except for a little bit a few years ago when there was some contamination, our water is almost always fine, unless they're replacing a water line or something. That doesn't happen too often. But we just don't have a lot of trouble with things like that. So it makes it difficult when Mr. Holstein and I start talking about in our later years if we're going to move. And I just kind of hate it because I look across the country and I don't see a spot that is so sweet weather-wise, without we don't really have to worry about tornadoes. We don't really have to worry about flooding where I'm at now in West Virginia. Yes, there are places that flood terribly, and some places not far from me. But this particular little spot, this particular little street that I live on, we don't have to worry about the tornadoes. We don't have to worry about flooding. Snow is not a problem. We get a lot of snow sometimes, but we generally can get out. It's usually not a problem getting out of here and going somewhere. And the few times that it has been a problem, of course, I've had enough stuff, and the electric stayed on, and the natural gas stayed on, and the water stayed on. So, it's a pretty good little spot where we live right now. Um, but my friend Carla, I told her, I said, you need a generator as a backup, and so that you're not as dependent on this electric company as you are right now, and so that you can keep, you don't want to run the whole house with a generator. You just need to keep the basic stuff together. The air conditioning, as best as you can, and your refrigerator or freezers and those kind of things. Refrigerators and freezers don't have to be on all the time. Have them on for a few hours to keep it, cold. And, if you need the air conditioning, then you need a unit a generator that will keep your air conditioning running. But yeah, I mean, you kind of have to think it out. Now, I'm one to talk because we have a generator that should be able to run on natural gas, but it's not in place. I can't move it; it's too heavy, and it's not on wheels. And I've never tried to start it; it's never been connected, which is bad on us. We should have that connected. The problem is there's no real urgency because we live in a pretty good area that we don't have those issues. And yet it's one of the very issues that we should be ready to address. So hopefully I can get Carla and her husband convinced to get some kind of a generator in where she's at. And Carla does a lot of volunteer work too, so she needs to be able to get up and get dressed and do her things and take care of her work. So okay, there's several now. We're towards the end of June, and I'm starting to look at the things that are going to be in July. Next Tuesday should be a live show again. The young lady that is doing the program art in our John 2117 project at the church, she's on vacation next week, so we're just going to take that week off altogether, and then start back up right after the 4th of July. So I thought, I'll have the show and everything, but I'm focusing now on July dates. And July 1st in Huntington is the Heritage Farm and Museum Summer Festival. Now, Huntington's about 45 minutes to an hour away from Holstein House, but it's still a very nice little festival to try to attend. On the 4th of July, now there's Independence Day celebrations going on all over the place, but the parade in Ripley is a national favorite parade. It's one of the longest, if not the longest, continuously, I don't know, continuous, I guess is better than continuously, continuous parades. I mean, it's been a 4th of July parade in Ripley for, I think, 100 years or more. Would be, 100 years or more. I'll have to look that up for the next one. I should have looked that up. I just flipped through those dates real quick and wrote them down. There's also 4th of July. Oh, and Ripley's about a 45-minute drive. So there's also a 4th of July celebration in Fairview's part of Ripley in Hurricane. Hurricane's about a half-hour drive from Holstein House. It's 4th of July party. There is a Friends of Charity auto fair in Beckley, West Virginia, which is about a half hour, 45 minutes, on the 17th of July. And the West Virginia State Water Festival is in Hinton, which is a little more than an hour. It's a decent little drive, but that's an interesting festival on July 28th and 29th. Then there's the West Virginia Hot Dog Festival in Huntington on the 29th of July, and that's always a good time. And there's Mad Fest at Ridenour Lake in Nitro, and that's only about 25 minutes away from Holstein House. So those are a few things that will be going on in July that may be interesting to you, that you may want to come up and stay with us and go see. So some of the stuff I've talked to you before about the John 2117 project at my church, and we've got the extension office doing the nutrition program. We're going to have a girl from extension doing introduction to container gardening, building the right container garden for you. It's a little late in the year to do that. That'll be July the 12th. And then container gardens, keeping them healthy. on the 19th, and then we're going to work together on a couple like microgreens and things on that. But I'm also going to do something. We've also got AARP that's going to do some dates. I'm still reaching out to the Red Cross to get some information and dates from them as well. But I'm going to put together a couple of workshops, maybe 3. The seed sprouting, maybe if the young lady from the extension office doesn't do that, I can do that. I've done it. It's not hard. It's really not hard. But I'm going to pull together some workshops that I'm going to offer myself from Holstein House. We're going to do one on starting sourdough baking. It's going to be a very basic class on getting your sourdough started and the process and how it works and why it works, and then how to make a boule of bread. Now, I'm not an expert by any means. I don't do a bunch of fancy stuff. I just do a very basic, and that's what I think most people need if they want to expand and go into the fancier, rye breads and different grains and things, and adding cheese and all the other things that you can do with sourdough. Uh, that's fine. This is going to be a very basic getting started, getting your sourdough up, the starter up and running and healthy, and naming it. A lot of people name their sourdough, and making how to make that first boule of bread. Then I'm going to do a workshop on and I haven't decided which direction I'm going. Whether I'm going to take milk and go from milk to buttermilk to cheese and whey, or if I'm going to take milk and go to yogurt and then go to cream cheese. I could do both. I could do all of them at one time. You're looking at a workshop for an hour while people are eating and sharing things with them, because they're lunch and learn type things. So I haven't decided which one of those, or I could do them on different Wednesdays. I could do one Wednesday, one the other, but I haven't gotten that all worked out yet. But I am putting together the information and the documents and stuff, and the take home pieces that and getting a list of materials that I'll be using for that. And I got to come up with some titles. Oh, I hate to come up with titles. They wear me out. I'm still using Noster. I'm still interacting over there. I'd love to have more participation over there, but I understand I'm in a very unique, if you want to call it a niche or not, but a very unique position here, offering a service of a guest room and breakfast, and it's not something that everybody's going to take. Not everybody's going to come to somebody's house and stay like that, and I get that, and that's fine. But if you are interested in Noster, then be sure and look me up. I'm over there. I've got my NPub listed in the show notes, so you can find me there. Got a little QR code. I can't. I could put it. Where could I put my QR code? Go to robinholstein.com and go to contact, and you'll see all the different ways you can get a hold of me over there, plus including my Noster NPub. So I would love to invite you to be part of the show. If you have something interesting you'd like to share, you'd like to be interviewed, you can reach me at robinholstein.com. Go to the contact page, and when you send your contact, or when you send the message, put guest in the subject line, show guest, and I will look at that and see what all's going on, and maybe interview you here on Holstein House. That would be fun. I do want to acknowledge a young person, and I say young because that's just what I assume, I don't know, from fountain.fm. And the name that he has there, and I'm just going to say that it's a he because it says Contrapliant Dude. Contrapliant instead of compliant. Contrapliant Dude. He shared some stats and gave me a really nice compliment over on fountain.fm. Said I'm coming a long way with my Bitcoin understanding, and sometimes I think I have, and sometimes I think I haven't. So about the time I think I've got it, I don't. So I don't have the I haven't picked up the cold wallet yet. I'm going to do that. I've been watching the Cold Wallet has a Telegram group, and I've been reading a lot of the comments and a lot of the things on the Cold Wallet over there. So I haven't or well, it's the Cold Card, I think is what it's called. But it's I've been watching it over there on Telegram and following along with some of the folks that are getting them and some of the issues. That's the way I work. I I'll join a group and I'll sit and I'll read a lot to get the feel of the group and get the understanding of the group before I start really contributing or decide to leave the group. And so there's a lot of developer information over there. There's a lot of user frustrations over there. They've got several tabs. They've got tech support and video tutorials, which I've looked at a couple, and some open discussions and stuff on Cold Card. So I'm reading on that and I'm absorbing some of that because this is outside of anything I understand. But when I do order it, I will share that with you and I'll show it to you. Won't show you all the details, but I'll talk a little about my experience with that. And like I said, one of the things, like I said the other day, the cold wallet or Cold Card wallet has, and I don't know if they all do or not, but you have the ability to create a fake. So it would be like wearing paste jewelry out and somebody trying to steal your jewelry. So you have a fake wallet. You put a little bit of Satoshis. You put enough Satoshis in there to make it look reasonably real. And but so that if somebody, and I can't imagine, I doubt that I'm going to be going to some third world nation and go through customs and have my wallet stolen. I don't anticipate that. But if I did, go somewhere and somebody steals it, then or even they come in the house and steal it if they could find it. It'd be amazing to find it around here. I've got a mess on my hands. My own doing though. Then if they cracked that first one, they would never know about the second one, and so the majority of my Bitcoin would be safe. And speaking of Bitcoin, I haven't. Let me look while I'm talking to you. My understanding is it hit 30,000 again today. I use the Fold card, and it's not. They're going through a spell where you're not allowed to. It won't let you buy right now. So with the Coinbase, darn it, as of right this minute, it's at $30,177.03. It's technically up, but it's down a little bit, like how it bounces. It's down a little bit. So that's interesting. I don't do a lot of my own stock portfolio stuff. Mr. Holstein takes care of all that. And I just don't. So I don't think that's right. But Fold Card has not been allowing you to purchase any Bitcoin. My understanding, there's some kind of updating they're doing. I don't know. I read the email, and then Strike as well. I think Strike is not letting you buy either. I don't know if that's a connected some way that they're using the same servers or something, but there's some kind of something going on that Strike won't let you buy it either. So those are the only ones. Let's see. Well, Cash App. Can you buy Bitcoin Cash App? I think you can. There's some way to do that. But that's it. So Fold, Coinbase, or Cash App and Strike. That's what I've got to deal with Bitcoin, which is not that much. People out there they got it going. I want to learn more. But you got to use it to learn it. You got to be in there doing stuff to learn it. And I need to do that. I just need to do that. All right. Well, I tell you what, I am just about done. I know we haven't gone the full hour yet. We're not going to be getting a new pastor for a while. I shared that with you the other day, and Pastor Bill, who has been very good for us, but he had to step out. He had some issues. He's got more health issues, and for those of you who pray, I ask that you pray for him for his healing. So I need to reach out to him. I haven't talked to him in a while. Well, I haven't talked to him since before I went to the conference, because I wanted to let him know I wasn't going to be there for that service and if he could handle it. And he said, yeah, which I knew he could, which is no big deal. But um, yeah, I haven't reached out to him since then. And actually, it was another member that told me he had some health issues going on. So, all righty. Well, like I said, I've got the contractor out there. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, he'll get done. I will be very upset if he doesn't. I'll probably give him a pass. If he gets it done before Monday, I'll probably give him a pass. But honestly, if like he just works today and then doesn't come back, no, because I may be wrong because I'm not an attorney. But I believe every time he says I'll have it done by Friday, because he's done it like 8 or 9 times. Each of those is a contract. He's blown that contract. Uh-oh. Can you? My dad's calling. I need to answer that. I know what it is. He's calling. Today's his finger stick day. He wants to make sure I'm here for his finger stick. So I'll get back with him in just a second. But I lost my place. Oh, I'm not messing around with, and it's the shame of it is now I'm not going to be able to call him again for any more work because I just can't trust that it's going to be done. I mean, he's blown it. He's absolutely blown the trust that I would have had in him. And he's done great stuff for us up till now. I mean, but there's been no explanation. He's offered no reason why, other than a few times he says he's under contract, which I knew he was. He was under contract for that house. But he said he could get it done. He said, "Oh, I can do it." I even asked him one time, I said, "Do you have a recommendation for someone to do odd jobs?" "Well, why?" I said, "Well, because you're busy." "Oh, no, we can, if you got stuff needs done, we'll get it done. It'll be all right." And he's done really good work for us before, but this one, he's just absolutely dropped the ball, and I just don't know. He's offered no explanation, none at all. So it's just as well we get it done, and he moves along, and I'll move along, and we'll get the doghouse roof done, and I'm really excited about that. Hopefully, we'll get it done, and we can. I would love to be able to have that thing not just under roof, but replumbed and everything and ready to go before cold weather sets. That would be great. That would be like October, mid-November, something like that. I mean, it's cold, but I mean cold weather. So just because it's not quite winter doesn't mean it's not cold. So, oh my goodness. The ideas that are coming to me, I'm getting really excited about it, and hopefully I can get it done. Now I say the problem, but there are challenges that are going to come as if if we continue to do without a pastor, and I continue to have to, which is not a bad thing if the church grows. If the church is growing, it's a good thing. But there's stuff with the church that I need to do as well, and it would be really nice to get that done. Really nice to get it done. So. But I tell you what, I'm not going to drag this out anymore. We've been here almost 50 minutes, which is pretty close to an hour. I'm going to go ahead and call it, and we'll cut out of here early for a Friday. And I've got stuff I got to do anyway, so I'll have the audio up soon for those who will be listening to the podcast on Fountain.fm, Holstein House podcast over on Fountain. I am, like I said, I'm going to call it. I'm going to end it there. And I really appreciate you being here. And if there's anything that I said that was inspiring or caused you to think of something or gave you a good idea or something, I hope you will share the value that I have given you back. And you can share it. There's a lot of ways you can share it. You can share it with Satoshis. You can share it with likes. You can share it with sharing with other people, subscriptions, and all of those great things. So I will let you go. You have a great weekend. Have a wonderful weekend. And we will see you again next time. Thanks. Bye-bye. So there you have it. Post your comments, do all that boosting, liking, sharing, thumbs up, and stuff that helps spread the word and poke the algorithms. Follow me on most of the big social media platforms and look for my name, Robin Holstein, or Holstein House. Till next time, bye-bye.